Hey, I'm Joel Villafano, and this is Cup of Joe. I'm from Sweet Tea and Tea. The Caribbean is my home. Big, bold flavors are always popping in my kitchen. I'm not a chef, but I've read hundreds of cookbooks and concocted my own recipes with a Caribbean twist. It's real fun, fantastic food, lots of friends, and big, bold flavors. This is Cup of Joe. Come share a cup with me. Hey guys, welcome to it. Hey, happy Easter weekend. Happy Easter weekend. This is Cup of Joe. I'm Joel Villafana. Time to share a cup with me. My cup of inspiration goes like this. The grass will always look greener on the other side until you start wetting the grass on your side. Take care of the grass on your side and stop looking on the other side. Hey, big show today. Two wonderful ladies in the house. Two queens. Here's what's coming up on the show. You're the queen that turned into a king.
A queen.
A queen. Do you guys know what this is?
Shadow Betty. And I love Shadow Betty.
You must know what Chini is.
I was a smoker.
Yeah.
I smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
I was a heavy smoker. I used to drink alcohol. I used to go to the casinos. Like 1 cent from 10 cent machine and thing. But 5 cent money and thing. But it wasn't bringing glory. It wasn't bringing glory to the Lord.
Let's get this show started. I have two very special ladies here today, and I'm introducing my very first celebrity taster, former soca artist, now a gospel artist, spreading her music from an entirely, totally different angle. Please help me welcome none other than Michelle Sylvester.
I am here. Oh gosh, you see that Trini, the Trini in me, I just want to hug you. Oh my God.
Have a seat, my dear. Have a seat.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I am well, I am well.
Yes, you know.
Am I too far? I'm good here?
You
I
could,
should
you
go.
could,
I'm good?
you could, you
Okay,
could,
nice.
you could.
How are
You have to
you, Joe?
sample a little bit just now, but
That's why I'm ready.
that's why you're here.
That's why I came.
I think that's why people coming on my show now.
How are you?
I am good. Good
nice
to see you.
See you. Same here.
You look
Same here.
lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Michelle, I remember you. I'm
I remember you too.
I remember you from my early fetting days.
Yes.
And
Yes.
music you were part of the band scene
Yes.
in Trinidad and Tobago. And now this song that I'm now hearing from you
Look at God, eh?
is a different
Yes.
Michelle Sylvester.
Look
I'm
at
hearing.
God.
Look at God.
Look at God.
Tell
I
me,
have to say that.
Tell me about that journey.
Ooh, it's a long story, eh? But let me see how I can.
We have the whole show.
We have time?
But we have the whole show, but give me a nutshell version. Give me a nutshell version.
Well, me, the Michelle Sylvester that you know,
Right.
back in the days with lots of bands, singing with bands like Song Revolution, KV Charles and Inside. That's my very first band that I ever been on stage with. That was with Marilyn Williams at that time. Coming from that, I had an encounter, and I didn't know that word back then. But I had my encounter with God on the foreshore, coming from Diego Martin, heading to the east. I'm originally from Diego Martin, Covine Road to be exact, big up Covine. And going home in the east that night, I just broke down crying. Now I'm a crier, yes, but this cry was a different kind of cry, Joe. This was just me crying like, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. I just started to feel empty, and that's the only way I could explain it. Me having that time with God, understanding that that's what it was at that time, just broke down crying and like saying things like, you know what, I'm going to church in the morning, please God. That's my words, eh? Now this is me in the peak of my career. This is me having gigs already lined up to travel and different things. And I just feeling empty, like something, a part of me missing. Started to cry, I turned the radio on one of the gospel stations that we have here and started to worship, singing the songs and just praying and saying in the morning, I'm going to church. A girl in the back and the pastor in front saying, because you know, you ain't going in front, you know, come, you're visiting, you're sleeping in the back. So I sat down in the back and the pastor was saying things like, he wants us to have this moment of prayer, close eyes and thing and that kind of thing. So your girl head bow like this and they praying. And I ain't really saying nothing but my eyes closed and my head bow. And I started to hear like the pastor coming closer and closer with whatever he was praying and saying. but my eyes closed. And then I felt somebody touch me on my shoulder. So in my mind, hear me, I wonder if there's God. So I looked so and opened my eyes. It was the pastor. He said, "You mind if I pray with you?" I said, "Sure, no problem." He said, "Well, I want to take you up to the front if you don't mind." Now, he don't know who I am. That is not the space he was in. So he don't know my songs, he don't know me. So I went up in front. He took off his mic, one of those thingy mic, headset thingy mics. And he was like, "I'm taking off my mic so that everybody wouldn't hear." Now, people would hear, of course, but it wouldn't be that out there. I said, "Sure, no problem." And he started to pray. Now, in him praying, not knowing who I was, Michelle Sylvester, the soca artist, he said a lot of things. But one thing that made me break down in the people church and started crying more.
You started crying again?
Again.
Yeah.
Was when he said, "God doesn't want you to go back." Now, remember, I said, he don't know who I am. So him saying that to me is like, nah. So it was like a confirmation then and there that this is what was taking place. God was calling me. And 11 years later, here I am in the kingdom, a new me.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the transition.
No problem.
But, you know, I can't bring it here. I am hungry when I reach on the show, so
I
sure.
like where you going.
Yeah.
I like it. It's songing good.
So let's transition to
Yummy.
welcoming the first chef that we have on the show. She is none other than Chef Tricia Gregoire, ladies and gentlemen.
Come in,
Gregoire. And she's rolling out our very first recipe. Tricia is here with us. Tricia, welcome.
Hi, Tricia.
This recipe brought to you by the folks at Regal Products. Chef Tricia, this is Michelle Sylvester.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Let me tell you, when you told me that Michelle was going to be the guest, I was so excited.
Right.
I didn't say it,
No.
but I wake up and I start my morning with Michelle. Every morning.
The new song or
No, since 107,
Right.
way
Yes.
back.
so you following Michelle?
Yes.
Right.
I love that.
Even when the other Luan.
Luan, when
Yes,
Luan was there. So from all that time.
All that time,
You're a big
yes.
fan of Michelle?
Yes.
Very well.
She's
I take him back.
she
Right.
cracks me up every
Very
morning.
good, very good. You got the opportunity now to roll out the recipe. What are you doing first?
So I'm going to do a twist on Accra today.
Yummy.
Gonna
I
take it
love
up.
Accra.
Gonna take it up a little notch.
Yeah.
We're gonna be using some white marlin, some marlin.
Oh, so you're not using saltfish?
Not using saltfish.
Because I'm not seeing saltfish.
No.
Accra is normally saltfish, right?
Saltfish, correct, yes. So we're gonna be using marlin. So I cube the marlins, season it up with some pepper flakes, some garlic, salt, and we're gonna add our normal seasonings.
Right.
And then we're gonna be having that with a creamy custard Parmesan dip. So let's get started. So we have our flour here, 1 cup of flour, and we have our chunks.
So right, this is not saltfish Accra. This is actual fish.
Fish.
Yeah. So we're gonna add our pimentos.
Yeah.
We have some chopped chive here, some celery, and we're gonna add a little pinch of salt. A little thing because the fish is already seasoned,
Nice.
so we don't want nothing much. And a little tip of black pepper,
Yeah.
right? And then we're gonna put our baking powder.
How much baking powder going into this?
So we're gonna put just under a tablespoon. So we wanna incorporate, mix everything together first, get it nice and coated.
I love a twist on a recipe. So when you take, you know, it's normally saltfish Accra.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of now excited to see how actual nice cubed marlin you can do however you want to season it up.
Yeah.
You season it up
Yes,
and give it its own flavor.
And we're gonna make the batter now.
Oh, so you
right?
need some water to make
So you're
it.
gonna use water, pour in slowly, mix. So we use the complete 1 cup. You get it nice and mixed in there. And we're gonna set this aside for a little while so that the baking powder could do its magic.
Okay.
Right.
And then we're gonna start on the
Sauce.
dip.
Right, so you're doing a dip for this Accra now. So what's the dip you're making?
So it's a creamy Parmesan custard dip, right? Now, the thing with this is that you would normally use cream cheese, Parmesan cheese and stuff. But fortunately for you today, Joelle,
For me?
yes,
Yes.
and for the listening public, we have a complete blend.
Right.
My complete blend.
So you see these chefs doing all kind of
Yes,
fancy things now.
Papa.
So it's Tricia's very own bottle of, this is a salad dressing.
Yes.
And what's in here, Tricia?
So this has cream cheese, the Parmesan cheese,
Everything
everything,
in
all the
one.
seasonings, everything. So it cuts down your work.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So we're using 1 tablespoon of custard powder.
So the Regal custard powder, I've never made a custard base tip. Tell me about what, I mean, the flavor that the Regal custard powder would add to this as well.
I know it's going to give it a thickness, a nice consistency, you know.
Right.
So we mix it in the water here, and this way you pour it in, and we're gonna let it cook. You know how you tell it's cooked, Joel?
Oh.
When the yellow changes from pale to bright. You see the color change. So we're gonna add in our cream now. At this point, you can turn off the fire, right?
Nice bright yellow there.
Yes. So you could turn off the fire now, add in your sauce.
I would have never thought of it in a savory type dressing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to taste how it will, especially how it will go with the saltiness of the Accra. Yeah, that's amazing. Wow.
I told you, we cut down the work by using
using your dressing
Yes.
to add with the custard powder.
Otherwise, you have to add the cream cheese, you have to add the Parmesan cheese, you have to flavor it up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know? The next part is the frying. So I think our oil should be ready by now.
Very
so
good.
Yes.
Cole, you're really hungry now.
So you don't want to make it too. You don't want your oil to be too hot for it to burn without cooking on the inside, and you don't want to make these too big as well, right? So I think this is about a good size. And you just scoop it in inside there, and you let the oil do the rest.
Accras with a twist.
And you're gonna get those nice chunks of fish when you bite into it. So these are going to fry for about maybe 2 to 3 minutes, you know, until it's golden brown, or some people like the stuff burnt dark. So, you know, when you
Was
see
it like between my complexion and Michelle's complexion? Somewhere in between.
so when you get the color that you like, you prefer,
Right.
it's good to come out. Okay, so we're just about ready to take out there. So we have our plate with that we're just gonna take off, you know, the little extra.
Just the extra oil.
Yeah.
Accra with a twist.
Take
With
it
a
up.
fishy twist.
Take it up a little notch.
Hey.
Simple. You have your friends coming over, family.
But we had a share.
Well, I don't know. I just say
Enough to share. I do plenty more Accra to our friends and family Accra. But this looks fantastic. This looks fantastic, Tricia. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Tricia Gregoire, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's good.
So this is
Dive
finger
in.
food or this is finger food?
It's finger food,
It's
but
finger
if you
food.
bougie and
If
want
I'm
to use
bougie.
it,
We know
I'm gonna use
bougie. We know
these.
bougie today. We know bougie today. So nice little dip.
The fish is marling, is it?
Marling,
So we
yes.
should give it a name like Macqua. No? Okay. Because it's Accra.
Accra.
And
I
it's
got it. after. I got it after. Macqua. It's not Accra.
No, exactly.
It's Macqua. That's Michelle.
This sauce. Macqua, I don't know.
It's a little sweet twang. I like sweet and savory, so I mean, this I would have never thought of using custard.
and the body is so nice.
You got custard with it, and it just goes well with the salt. It's kind of what I was anticipating.
Yeah.
This Accra is fantastic.
Glad you
I mean,
enjoyed.
I'm a saltfish man, but I mean, I could switch up some olive for some saltfish if need be. If need be, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Michelle Sylvester is here. Ladies and gentlemen, come on back, because right up after this, we bring to the set the queen here in Trinidad and Tobago. She's the Queen of Calypso, and now she's the Queen of Gospel. Come on back. DENYSE Plummer is here with us. Roll out a recipe with Regal Products. Rolling out recipes, having some fun, and I want to throw back to, it had to be at least 5 years ago when DENYSE Plummer, she came twice on the show. She launched her autobiography. That had to be probably about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and then she came back in the kitchen with me. Here's a little trip down memory lane with DENYSE Plummer.
Well, you see all those tomatoes I just cut up there? My right hand hurting me.
You're right, but you haven't finished yet though.
I have 4
You
more
have
to
4
do.
more to do.
Yes. Anyway,
have-
I think it's very nice that a man can cook. I think all men should be able to cook.
You're serious, but
Yes.
don't let them fellas let them rough them up, you know, because it's not that I could cook cook, I have to follow a recipe. That's how
Oh,
I
you
do
have
it.
to follow, but that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
At the end of the day, you're feeding people, and
like
you
you.
can feed yourself.
I like
Do you know, I taught my 2 boys,
Yeah.
always know how to cook, teach them how to cook. So no girl could cut
Could make
style on
style
them.
on them, yes.
Yes. How much?
Eyeballing a tablespoon.
You're a big eyeball.
Yeah!
Wait, how many eyes are you using? So creative with
You
things
can't.
that we cook every day.
Yes.
How we are custom cooking it, you can be creative and do exactly what you're doing. Mix things that nobody would believe that people would mix together and develop something new.
The Queen of Calypso, 10-time Calypso Queen here in Trinidad and Tobago, and she won the Calypso Monarch in 2001. Correct?
Young King.
And the Young King. And the Young King. See, it was a queen that turned into a king.
A queen.
A queen! So we had macros because we had we had mackerel because we didn't
Yeah.
use swordfish, we used
Yeah.
marlin,
Marlin.
with an acra, and now
Mackerel
you're a
and
queen.
queen.
Yes.
Yes, well, I'm making up words. So
Very
you are making up
original
words.
show, I must say.
Welcome, my dear lady.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Again.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
again. This is the
Welcome back.
3rd time, and it's joy. It's joy all the way around.
So we gotta give you a little taste of the video if you haven't seen it as yet. The song between these 2 ladies. What brought you guys together other than the obvious? How did the song
come
come
on.
about?
Well, it started
Continue.
with Bijon Pierre, that's the writer of the song, meeting me at a virtual event we had sometime last year, late last year, I think. And in meeting me, he was like, he's a young guy, and he was like, Michelle, what's your story? How you came to become a believer and in Christ now? And I told him it like we were off stage, and I was just sharing with him, you know, in a nutshell. And like he took my number that night. And I never met him before that night. And in him asking me that, me sharing with him, 2 days after he called, he said, I have a song, you know, on a rhythm. I had that rhythm long time, but I want to write something for you on this. I said, sure, why not? He said, okay, I'll send it for you. Me hearing it was like blown away, my verse. He said, but don't worry, do it by yourself. I want to do it with Auntie Denise.
So he had the concept
He had the
of both
concept.
stories
Yes.
coming together.
Yes, coming together. Because he didn't know of the, Denise's story as yet.
Right.
So he asked me, he said, talk to Denise, man. So
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
called Denise, I was like, Denise, I heard the first verse, which is my verse in
Yeah.
this song. I love it. I say he wants to write and he wants both of us to do the song. Denise told him,
Yeah.
told her her testimony.
Right.
Denise told him
Yes.
her testimony.
Yes.
And that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
And he sent back my verse
Yeah.
and asked me to listen to it. And
Yes.
darling, I'm telling you, even great songs, sometimes you have to listen to it twice or
Yes.
3 times before it gets
Start to
into
get
you.
to you.
And first time I listened to my verse,
It hits you.
I called, I said, that's it, we're going
Yes.
in studio.
It hits you.
Beautiful song.
Yeah, lots of love, lots of love. Do you guys know what this is?
Shadow Benny! And I love
Must
Shadow
know a
Benny.
Chini,
Yeah.
you know. A Chini must know a Chini.
Yeah,
you know.
boy.
What they
So-
call it? This bandana.
Bandania.
Nobody's
Okay,
calling
then
it
you
that.
know. So I am just doing a little quick rough chop on this shadow belly. And what am I doing? We in seafood mode. So our chef Tricia just left us with
Yeah, because
her
it's
macras,
Yes,
and she used she used marlin,
Marling.
right? So we have some kingfish.
King.
It's Easter weekend. Everybody is looking for like seafood dishes
yes.
to do. So we are doing simply a curry buttered kingfish.
Teach me.
Beyond me. Beyond me.
So it sounds fancy, yeah?
Beyond me.
Yes.
But it's curry butter
Very
on
simple.
kingfish in the oven.
End of
And
story.
that's basically it. And that is basically it. I love to put a little twist
Yes.
on recipes. So that's why when Tricia came up with that just now, I was
Yes.
totally blown away. love to switch out things and put in things, right? So I have some butter. So this is salted butter. So I have
Curry
just
butter.
about
Curry in the
some
butter.
2 tablespoons of curry. Just for good measure, I have some jeera that I'm adding in there. I'm adding some garlic.
Garlic is
Just
a
because
must.
I love
I
garlic.
love garlic.
Can't
I
cook
love garlic.
without garlic.
I love garlic. And I have my shadow benny that I want to add in
Shadow
there
benny.
for that final touch. I just really want to start a touch of salt and a touch of pepper. Nothing because I told you, salted butter.
Yeah.
So you really don't need much thing. And you just kind of mash that, you know. How much pepper mouth are you a pepper mouth?
No.
I love pepper. You don't like pepper,
I
Denise?
do not consider pain fun.
No, but pepper
My
is
grandfather
painful.
told me once. He said, "Why are you
Pepper
putting
is
pepper in the food? I
tasty.
want to taste it." Yeah. So what are we gonna do? Just to kind of get
Yeah.
between
Right,
you all,
a little
we're gonna put a little touch, just a little touch of pepper, just a little.
Okay.
Oh.
That look plenty.
That look
I
plenty.
I like
oh,
that. That's good.
A little touch of pepper. Slight pepper. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Once the butter comes together like that, all you do, basic salt, pepper. There's nothing else here.
On the fish.
Salt,
Okay. Nothing
pepper on the
else on the
fish.
fish.
Basic seasoning. Because all the flavor is in this butter here.
Painted
And I am just taking this butter and just doing a nice little paste on each one. We have once you're at Trini, you have a curry mouth for sure.
Definitely.
And yeah, you just kind of just,
I don't think there's anybody who doesn't like curry.
oh my goodness, curry is life.
Watch
Curry
your
is
white
life.
jacket with the curry.
Curry is
Because wifey will have to quarrel again.
She a custom, didn't she? She a custom. So this is a little prettiness.
Tomato.
Tomatoes, baby tomatoes, cherry
Some
tomatoes.
cherry tomatoes. I just really want.
Yeah.
What they will do is we'll roast in the oven. The tomatoes will roast in the oven as well.
lovely.
And it gives a
And let
nice
out its
little.
nice
Oh
flavor
my
as well.
goodness, yeah.
So I love that presentation.
Looks
Look at that.
beautiful.
And how long does this
This
stay in
bakes
the
in the
oven?
oven, 400 degrees for no more than about 15 minutes.
That's good.
Fish doesn't
So
take
it's a
long.
quick
Yeah.
meal.
Quick meal bakes in the oven.
Yummy.
That's lovely. Hey, we're going home to try this, you know.
After I eat here.
Michelle. I'm gonna try
Oh, look
both
at
of
this.
these
Look at this.
recipes.
Look at this.
Yummy.
So this has been keeping nice and warm for you guys.
Oh, that's the finished product.
This is the finished product.
Nice salad.
Nice little salad. You can serve it with some rice, a little dal.
That is fabulous. That's nice when you have guests over for dinner. You bring out that, boy.
Thank
Lovely.
you.
Ladies,
Your wife
curry
is a
buttered
happy
fish.
woman.
Yeah.
Well done.
Tell me.
Come on, let's do
Tell
it.
me.
Hey, Denise ain't wait for me at all.
Yeah.
It's not.
You're taking a second bite in it.
How much you have to pay for this in a restaurant?
Yes, that's right. And you see how simple it is to make? Try the recipe at our YouTube channel, guys. Cup of Joe Caribbean. DENYSE Plummer and Michelle Sylvester. New combination in the house. When we come back, we share a cup with them.
A chef on the inside.
So everybody has their journey, and I have two ladies that expressed their journey in song, and it's a song that is now lighting up the airwaves here in Toronto and across the region and across the world. Their stories of a life that was, and now a life that they have changed for God. And DENYSE Plummer has been a Calypso queen in Trinidad and Tobago for many, many a year. Michelle Sylvester, soca queen in her own right, so groovy soca monarch. And now these two ladies have chosen a different path. Michelle, let me come to you first, Michelle. You miss the stage in terms of what was.
Oh, what was? No, I don't, to be honest, in the earlys, when I
Yeah.
just got saved, I started to question some things and I was like, I don't think it's working out, especially when your finances not reading the same. You understand? But because it was all God calling me, and I understood what it was, that started to change.
That started to change.
You would question some things,
Yeah.
you know, because you're coming into something that you've never been in before, so you have questions.
But then because I mean, even for you, I think it may have been a longer span of you being on the March Grass stage every year in, year out. When you made that decision 7 years ago, 8 years ago, what was that transition for you? Do you miss
I knew that God wouldn't take me out of a place where I shouldn't be. I shouldn't say I shouldn't have been, because my culture and my country was very, very good to me. My career was very, very rewarding. But if God is taking me out of that to bring me into where He is, He's not going to give me anything less than I was getting before. He's going to make sure I get more. And then the hard part was a lot of friends. I lost a lot of friends. A lot of family members were upset that, you know, I gave my life to Christ and coming over, you'll never travel again, you'll never make that money again, you know, all the going away and all this sort of thing. But these 7 years that I gave my life to the Lord, I went to one of the most beautiful places in the world, all expenses paid, Israel. I stood in Jerusalem. I stood where he stood. I saw where he preached. I saw where he died. I saw where he was born. It was the most amazing thing.
Denise mentioned that she lost friends. Did you experience the same thing when you made a transition and made a decision?
I know, I wouldn't say friends, because actually the people that I know then, I still communicate with them now. Most of the soca artists on there. A relationship that I was in, I lost that because he wasn't really understanding what's going on with you now. You know, you wanting to change your life and you're not singing that thing. You know, that's the only thing I really lost. But everybody else, I mean, your family's a family. Let them in like me still, man. They're still there and they're with me, you know. They're
But people are
supporting.
supposed to support you if you're changing your life for the better.
But
it
that's
doesn't
the
matter where
thing.
you go to become a better person, and you need
Yeah.
the support of the
That's
ones
the
that love
thing.
you.
Yeah.
And it's something you don't know what people go through. I mean, I remember Michelle, as I said, on
Yeah.
this, and then I just stopped hearing about Michelle
Yeah.
Sylvester, not knowing that
This is where what I'm doing now. Yeah.
And I was a smoker.
Yeah.
I smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
I was a heavy smoker. I used to drink alcohol. I used to go to the casinos. Like 1 cent, 10 cent machine and thing. But 5 cent machine and thing. But it wasn't bringing glory. It wasn't bringing glory to the Lord. So I had to give up some stuff.
You have to, yeah.
To come into God's
You
kingdom,
have
to please the Lord, you have to put down some stuff.
What's the journey from here, guys? I mean, this song has brought you guys together. I don't know, have you ever worked together before at all?
We never collaborated on anything musically, but we
But we
traveled
worked together.
outside
Right.
of when we were out there.
Yeah.
We traveled, we were on planes together, we were on the
Same
same
stage.
stages
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
So I know Denise, I would not go anywhere and not hail Denise, that time we could have hug.
Right.
So we used to hug.
Different world now, eh?
Different time, man. But this time we collaborated on this song, Safe on the Inside, together.
Yeah.
And it's been a good experience. It's been fun. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The video was so
Together.
lovely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, talk about the video. Who also is in it?
The
besides us?
video was so...
Tambu, I saw Chris Tambu
That's
over
right.
and Luther.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
yeah,
gave
yeah.
our 2 testimonies in the video, and then we thought it would be so nice to have Tambo and Luther, who are also
Yeah.
gospel artists now.
Yeah.
And well, Tambo is a pastor
He's a
now.
pastor.
Yeah.
So they came into the video with us, and we didn't have to act anything in the video.
No.
You know,
The
it
video
was
is a
real.
real
It
video.
was her
Very organic,
testimony, my
very-
testimony, and
Yes.
the joy that we feel now in God's kingdom. You know.
Finally, Michelle.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're in touch with a number of young artists still.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to some of the younger artists?
The younger
I'm
ones.
sure that you'll be seeing yourself in a few of them now. What would be your advice?
Even
to
if I
them?
don't see them like personally
Yeah,
or
yeah.
what advice I can give them, boy? Well, you know, humility is a big thing for me. I like humble people. And for me, it's all about the message and the word is the gospel. Have faith in God, trust God, even if you're not understanding what's going on. Cast all your cares, everything upon Him. And trust me, you'll be able to see, He directs everything well, you know?
Michelle Sylvester, DENYSE PLUMMER. Thank you both for sharing your stories with us.
Thank you.
And as I said, your journey is your journey.
And thank you for sharing your food with
Oh
us.
gosh,
I hope you
important.
enjoyed it. That was
Yes,
it.
we did.
Wonderful. That finished baking, yeah?
Yeah! We have more fish in the oven.
I
More
smell
fish in the
it.
oven. Chef Tricia have more acre in the back. I want to thank Chef Tricia for dropping by. DENYSE PLUMMER, Michelle Sylvester,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for having us.
If you haven't heard or looked at the video, here's a little taste of it, but check it out on YouTube, guys.
Safe
on the inside. DENYSE PLUMMER and Michelle Sylvester.
Miss Sylvester is the name. You might know me from my days. I was tearing up the stage. I was mashing up the place. Who would think a few years later I would change up my behavior?